Mission Bay Oval of a 2.5-mile course for the fastest race boats in the world. And there's a little better shot of our crowd that's on hand here on the south side of this oval. After the qualifying closed yesterday, early evening, we had a chance to mosey over and visit with the newest members of the Unlimited Thunderboat Racing Camp. Well, down here in the pit area, looking at this car, I know this car is a Renault. I've seen it on the road many times. In fact, I've seen the Renault Formula car. But have you ever heard of a boat, an Unlimited called the Renault? Well, the Thunderboats have entered a new era because the Renault team is here. This is Jerry Shaineth, former Unlimited driver. His family's been in powerboat racing for over 25 years. And Jerry, you put this team together. How did you interest the Renault people in sponsorships?
Well, a year before we actually signed a contract, I brought the head people down from the marketing group at American Motors in Renault and showed them the race course in Detroit, showed them how the Miss Budweiser, the Atlas Van Lines, and the other boats market their items. And they were very, very pleased and quite surprised to see the crowds and the bannerizing and the television and radio and newspaper coverage. So then I sat down about 6 months after and said, you know, we could get the name Renault around the United States really in a unique way. And they said, what? And I said, Renault on a boat. And they said, Renault on a boat? I said, Sea Ray on an Indianapolis car. And they said, hey, why don't we try something this year? And so far, they are thoroughly delighted with not only the impressions that we get throughout the United States, but also proving the technology that they have put in their cars and in their Formula One cars into our boat in the uniqueness of some of the new parts of our boat.
Speaking of new parts of the boat, this particular boat has a horizontal stabilizer that's very, very low to the hull and transom, unlike the big wings on some of the other boats. And this man, Milner Irwin, the driver from Coral Gables, Florida, has to handle that boat. And speaking of handling, how does it handle?
Jim, it handles very well. It's a very light boat, as you know, and I think the lightweight is a definite advantage. The wing itself, in the position it is, being low, we haven't proved whether it's an asset or not. I think, in my personal opinion, next year we'll probably raise it up and be more like the Atlas or the Budweiser.
It takes time to dial the new boat in and get the crew, everybody kind of working as a team.
It sure does, Jim. We continue to improve each race, and it's just a constant battle to take a new boat and make it run very well.
Big sponsors, of course, dominated in Unlimited hydroplane racing like Anheuser-Busch, Atlas Van Lines, American Speedy Printing, just to name a few. And the Renault team is here. The driver, Milner Irwin, the owner, Jerry Shaineth, and, of course, the Renault racing team. We hope they stick around for some time to come. Now, Sam, let's go back up to you.
Jim Hendrick and the Miss Renault team recorded yesterday here on Mission Bay. The finalists here this afternoon, the Atlas Van Lines and Chip Hanauer, the Miss Renault, Milner Irvin, the Miss Budweiser and Jim Krapfeld, American Speedy Printing and Jack Schaefer, the Specialty Leasing and Ron Armstrong, and the Squire Shop and Tom DeEast.
From sites in Las Vegas to Atlantic City, the best young boxers in the business come your way when ESPN presents Top Rank Boxing live on Thursday nights. You can lay claim to the best combination in boxing by tuning in Thursday nights to ESPN and Top Rank Boxing. And we'll be back with Top Rank hydroplane racing in the Unlimited field after this timeout. Formula with Sam Cole back here, Mission Bay, San Diego, about a minute and 30 seconds to go before this, the run for all the marbles on this saltwater 2.5-mile oval in San Diego, California. And there's the man who's been tearing it up today, Chip Hanauer of the Atlas Van Lines, and the rest of the challengers. Well, here's Sam Cole. Sam?
Jim, we've got the Atlas Van Lines, Chip Hanauer, as you said. This Budweiser right on his heels, Jim Krapfeld, the driver, the Squire Shop, and Tommy DeEath out of Detroit, Michigan, American Speedy Printing, Jack Schaefer Jr., the Specialty Leasing out of Los Angeles, California, Ron Armstrong, the driver, and the Miss Renault, Milner Irvin.
That sun is going to play havoc now with our boats because the sun is setting down the west, and we're looking almost into a westerly, about a southwesterly sun. And we'll have to watch very carefully. We can see that weird water intake throws up that special kind of side rooster tail off the skid fin of the Atlas, so we'll have to watch that. It looks like Atlas Van Lines wants lane 1. Lane 2 looks like it will be the Miss Budweiser, followed by the American Speedy Printing, the Specialty, and the Squire Shop, and the Speedy Printing. As they come down right now, there is our final field heading for the starting gun. It looks like it's going to be the Atlas Van Lines, also the Specialty, and the Squire Shop as they come across that line and dive down the corner number 1. Whoa! go. Ron Armstrong is flying.
Tommy DeEath and the Squire Shop's on the outside, Jim, as they go down there. What a surprise. Armstrong and DeEath leading him into that turn. But here comes Mr. Hanauer out in the lead with Kraftfeld on his hip.
It's going to be Chip Hanauer coming off of corner number 2 down the back chute right now. The hills of San Diego, California in the background as the sun slowly sets in the west. There's our leader flying just a little bit. He's loose on that front end, Sam. But he's got about a 4.5 second, maybe a 4-second lead over the second place Budweiser at this point as they go down the corner number 3 in the pit area.
And Jim, as he dives in there, I don't know where this horsepower is coming from in the Atlas right now because he left everybody sitting still back up in that other turn. Hanauer, you see, takes the Atlas through there. Kraftfeld and Miss Budweiser a good 6 or 7 seconds behind as they go through there. Here comes our leader, Hanauer, bringing it around the turn and heading down. There you see the Miss Budweiser back behind him there. That's about a 5-second lead for Hanauer. The Atlas Van Lines, he brings it across the line here to complete lap number 1.
There's our leader with 5, making 4 more laps to go as he goes down the corner number 1 again, followed by the Budweiser. Whoa, the Squire Shop went way up in the air. Tommy DeEath lost sight of that water from that front cockpit, I am sure. So it stands as the Atlas Van Lines, the Budweiser Squire, the American Speedy Printing, the Specialty, and also the Renault.
And as Hanauer brings it down there, Jim, he set a new course record for competition on that first lap. 133.73 miles an hour for Hanauer and the Atlas Van Lines, as you're seeing them going behind the island here on this beautiful 2.5-mile Mission Bay course. The old record was set in 1981 by Dean Chenoweth, and the Miss Budweiser, his speed 132.531. Hanauer, a new course record here, leaving everyone in his wake. Here's Kraftfeld, the Budweiser. He's heading into that turn as Hanauer brings it out of there. But Jim Kraftfeld, you know, Jim, got to be trying to keep it alive because the national championship race has got very tight. Hanauer has gained some ground here this afternoon.
Here comes the Atlas Van Lines, and he'll complete lap number 2 with 3 more laps to go. And if he can keep it going in the engine housing and stay ahead of the Budweiser, he will have gained within 169 points of the national championship with 1 more race to go. If he can hold this position, he's gained 600 points, chasing the leader, Sam.
Yes, he has. Hanauer's speed on that lap, 130.814. He's cooled it off a mile an hour or so, but he's still out in front. He brings it down now. He's going to put a lap right there on the Miss Renault and Milner Irvin, having some engine problems, but nonetheless, they've put in a remarkable showing here this afternoon. Hanauer on the Atlas, blinding us by the sun as he goes behind the island down there. Chip Hanauer, who won this race a year ago right here in Mission Bay. Should he hold on to win here, it would be his 3rd win of the season in the Atlas Van Lines boat and for the Atlas Van Lines Company here on Bill Muncie's home race course.
Stay with us on ESPN because the cameramen have really got their work cut out for them. They have to take a shot into a blinding sun down that back chute into corner number 3, and we'll lose them periodically, but that's all that can be done. Mother Nature. Here it comes, complete lap number 3. 2 more laps to go. Atlas Van Lines, the hometown boat with Chip Hanauer from Seattle, trying to hang on to win his 4th race of the 1983 campaign and pull within 169 points of Jim Kraftfeld and Bernie Little Smith Budweiser with 1 more race to go. That at Houston, Texas, the Budweiser World Cup in October.
Hanauer's speed there, 131.965. He's put his foot back into it. Here's Milner Irvin in the Miss Renault. There you see Jack Schaefer, the American Speedy, running behind him. He's lost his whole wing section, Jim. And as he goes by here, it's flapping up and down. He's lost the wing section of that boat. I don't know what's going to happen here because that will affect the aerodynamic stability of an unlimited hydroplane.
And he's slowing down now, Sam, as he's back in the corner number 1 as our leader comes down the back chute, and he'll come around and take the green flag. When he does, it'll be, whoop, 1 more second to go. 1 more lap to go, rather. And right now, he bounces through some slop, and I saw that left spot and raise up and saw the bottom of the boat. But now he's in the apex of corners number 3 and 4, coming out of the sunlight, heading down here as the green flag is waiting. Whoa, he's still flying light, Sam. Still flying light and really going. There's the green flag along with the yellow flag. The yellow flag is because of the American Speedy Printing down in corner number 1, sitting dead in the water. There's our 2nd place boat, this Budweiser, with about 5 seconds behind.
Jim, and as Hanauer's on his final lap, let's remind the viewers at home, as they see the shots across the race course, this blinding sun. Remember, that's affecting these gentlemen on the race course because they are driving into that sun at speeds of 165 and 170 miles an hour. Hanauer up to speed on that lap, 132.159. Here's our 3rd place boat, Tom DeEath in the Squire Shop. He returns to the seat of that cockpit and putting in a remarkable performance here today in third place aboard Bob Stiles' boat. As I said, Hanauer up his speed back up to 132.1 on that lap, and here he goes into the turn, Jim.
He goes into the turn with the checker flag waiting. He has less than half a lap to go. He'll pull within 169 points for the National High Point Championship with one race to go. It's going to be the Atlas Van Lines with Chip Hanauer. Coming out of corner number 4, the Rooster Tail rises, riding beautifully. The checker flag is waiting. As he comes in, he waves and takes the checker flag, and a victory for the Atlas Van Lines. Second place will have to go to Budweiser. Third place to Squire. Here's your second place boat, Budweiser. Overall, the San Diego Regatta here.
There you see the checkered flag. Hanauer's speed on his last lap, 129.683. What a barn burner it was. His average speed, Jim, a new record here in San Diego. He waves his arm triumphantly in the air. His average speed, 131.540 miles an hour, eclipsing the old mark set by Bill Muncie in the Atlas Van Lines in 1980. His heat record speed was 126.796.
Here comes the third place finish for Tommy Deep, Fairhaven, Michigan, in Bob Stiles' Squire. All right, the final order finish, Sam, if you will.
Our winner will be Chip Hanauer in the Atlas Van Lines. Second place, the Miss Budweiser and Jim Kraftfeld. In third, it'll be Tom DeEath and the Squire Shop. In fourth, it'll be Ron Armstrong, as you see him here in the specialty leasing. Fifth place will go to the Miss Renault and Milner Irvin. As you see Armstrong, he's lost a turbocharger. Nothing to worry about there. The race is over. He just finished to take his fourth. And in sixth, it'll be Jack Schaefer and the American Speedy Printing.
And we'll have an interview with the winning driver in just a moment. Chief Jim Harvey. Well, you've cut 600 points off the Budweiser lead for the national championship with a victory today. That gets us down to only 169 points with one more race to go. Houston, Texas, Budweiser World Cup.
Yeah, Jim, we did everything we wanted to do. You know, we wanted to come down here and not break and just try and stay, stay alive, stay close to him. And we did that, thanks to Jim Harvey. And, we had an explosion before that second heat. We heard a crew member, and they got it in the water 12 seconds before the gun. And they're just the best in business.
Your boat is like a bunch of... Well, Jim Harvey, actually, you come right down to it. I've never seen a busier crew on any boat than I've seen on yours, especially this week.
Well, I made a comment last night that even though we're into our 9th race, it feels like we've raced 18 times this year, and we never stop working. It seems like there's always something we find or we have to correct, and this was no exception.
Nothing's been easy this year. It's just been difficult every stretch of the way.
Well, that's unlimited hydroplane racing, Sam.
Chip, a lot of people wondered at the start of that final heat, we were back to playing cat and mouse again. Lee Shayneth was even wondering if you guys had engine problems. What was the strategy?
Well, we were just all trying to get each other in our sights, and we just, usually the boat race is who can go the fastest, but for about 3 minutes there, it was who could go the slowest. And, I think what we were trying to do is load each other up, that we just had to keep the engines clear, and it worked out.
It was a lot of fun. Jim, one quick question for you. I've seen a lot of patches and a lot of things in hydroplane racing. Why don't you tell us about 100%?
Well, this morning Chip gave me the sticker, and everybody was kidding me. They thought it was 100 proof, but it really was 100%, and every one of my team members will be wearing one tonight because they gave more than 100%.
Well, that'll wrap it up. Jim Harvey, the crew chief, the driver, of course, Chip Hanauer. On behalf of Sam Cole, Jim Hendrick, so long from San Diego. Today's San Diego Thunderbolt Regatta has been brought to you by Renault and the amazing new Renault Encore. European design that's affordable. Built in America. The one to watch, Renault.